Oh, how are you doing? Happy to meet you all at GSA Sourcing Festival and happy GSA's anniversary. So today we will talk about one of the essential business process in the software world, team formation, and I will share with you insights from the Intetics experience. So let me share with you the presentation. So we will talk about team formation models and how to create a perfect team for your IT project. Just several words. I'm Irina Dubovik, and I'm working as a digital marketing director for Intetics. Intetics is a leading global technology company providing custom software development and distributed professional teams creation. So 2022 is totally changed the market to remote model work and shares of the market worldwide. COVID, politics, war influenced the IT industry. Classically, the market is divided by regions to the economic reasons. For example, hiring market is mostly associated with Eastern Europe, and clients market is mostly associated with other countries. But there is a winning strategy, remote work with distributed teams. And this is hiring market the entire world. There are key expertise needed for the IT project success, and very often managers do not pay enough attention because all these key expertise should be all in one, all four. For example, first of all, knowledge of technologies and technical skill. Then, industry knowledge, solutions that fit your business. Team, from one member to a full team of experts, and the possibility to scale as a team and to scale as a product. The scalability should be allowed by the team from like idea to the MVP creation and then to the whole product, like for example, e-commerce platform. And also today, there is one more very important skill, entrepreneurship. It's not a role or a position anymore. It's a skill. It's the ability to work in a constantly changing environment. And the team formation model is a perfect matching solution that brings you advantages for your business, like flexibility of the business and resources, scalability, cost saving, and risk mitigation, more expertise for a reasonable price. And the most essential thing is you would plan in advance and to have a predictive result with your software and IT project. Meet our CTO Alexey Velesnitsky, an expert who will support your project every step of the way. We are focusing on team formation from scratch instead of adding plus one developers. What does it mean? And what do we consider as a team? So there are some scientific researches, and there is a team productivity success index. That means that more than 7 people is the maximum. And more people you have in the project, less effectiveness you could have. Why not 4 or 9 people as a team? Because a group of people is not a performing team. If to go deeply into a scientific approach, so there are two researches that we have as an example. First of all is Ringelmann effect. So it's a tendency for individual members of a group to become increasingly less productive as the size of their group increases. So more participants, less effectiveness. And Tuchman's expert. So Tuchman stages of group formation. There are several phases like forming, storming, norming, performing, transforming. And each stage should be considered separately. On the very beginning, of the work, you on the very early stage, you need a manager you need a manager here, like business analyst or project manager, who could later involve to resource manager to control the initial part of the formation team. So, and on the next stage, on the next phase, like storming, where we expecting like lead engineers and seniors engineers to know the scope of the work, to analyze the backlog. They actually are ready to start bring value now. And after this, there is a norming phase where the team could perform successfully. Usually, the manager will deal with education and team development. These researches will help you to understand that there is a stage and numbers of work. And here we are not talking about cross teams. So the initial phase. The initial phase is, for example, where our delivery directors work, especially with high estimated projects. For example, when you have a long-term project with a high budget, you need to plan all in advance. And here we start to hire using the existing pool of candidates, or in our case, bench. But at the beginning, we hire at the forming stage business analyst or technical lead who could analyze the scope of work and things need to be delivered. So it could take for about 1 or 3 months to make all fully understanding of the project. Then after this stage, so we are adding the middle engineer and QA. So then plus several engineers, and the result, we will have like a core team, a consolidated core team with each PM and BA, then tech lead, senior engineer or lead engineer responsible for technical question, and that could be several additional developers or DevOps. So the standard, or let's say ideal core team, consists from 5 to 7 people in the team. And so we could have here the norming phase, and this team is ready for the next one, performing. And then continue the main phase. So, and here is an aerial view of the team formation. So there is a couple of projects started by the core team at Intetics and evolved into multiple teams. And each team could have its own roles and its own methodology. On this slide, we are sharing our expertise at Intetics vision on how we deal with big size projects. What can be interesting and different from the very first phase? On this slide, we have like 1 year of work and 20 plus people and 20,000 person hour estimated backlog. So it's not a small estimated budget project. We have the same core team that evolved from the very early stage. And here we could understand the full process. So there is some sort of the evolution of the PM to a full-time PM or resource manager who will care about all staffing position, recruiting and working as a project manager full-time. Here we start earning featured teams, hiring featured teams from 1 to N, so with no limit. And in this particular case, 1 core team and 2 featured teams. So 20 plus people size work for 1 year could be a possibility to have some DevOps, but this is the ideal scenario that will cover almost all requests of software services, like type of development where you have the core team that develops core features and like database and feature team who develops front-end work or specific client request. So new appearing roles, no more technical lead. The technical lead is hired previously and continue to work from the core initially hired team. Featured team one and the upcoming product owner or BA, depending on what type of development happens. So it could be Kanban or Scrum. So every team could have its own methodology. So we have optional roles. So not all solutions, for example, require a couple of dedicated DevOps. But if to talk from usual industrial experience, when you have more than 20 plus people, people working on the IT project, they have to release some time. So that's why it basically involves to have some dedicated DevOps engineers who will set up the continuous integration tools and will be responsible for the whole infrastructure and for release in the production and testing. So it could remain remote and sourcing model of Intetics, but with dedicated PMs. So this approach gives more control. It means we exactly understand when we need more people. And the scope of like 20,000 man hours of work, this is all about the large project. So the same core team working, we are adding featured teams with more consultation with developers teams, not like just QA or technical leads. And the aerial view of the team formation. So could be done for any team using all existing methodologies, Scrum, Kanban, disciplined agile delivery. And as a result, you will have dependent or independent teams working on the same solution for that type of, let's say, estimated backlog task. Of course, you would like to know, for example, what will be the picture after 1 year. And here we always take in consideration how to build a fully formed enterprise team from scratch. There is a difference, and at the same, there are common things that the core team continue to work, but the project is evaluating and business targets are evaluating together with needed results. And when we are talking about end project phases or another word, support, so it's all about so something basic things. It's not. It doesn't mean that the project is finished. But it's mostly about the existing project. When you need to add some features or develop an additional feature or hiring like Intetics team to the existing, let's say, to existing your team. What we consider at the end of the project phase, it doesn't mean that the project stops. So it means that the project is launched or even bring revenue to the customer. And when we have core team and featured teams. And at some point, we start to evolve these featured teams to support teams. When we do not need to develop new features, but to just support them. So we rethink how to do this and start to switch people from one positions to more, let's say, QAs and experts. So we leave product owner in the project and concentrate not like having more developers, but QA and to make tests, to make evaluations, and BA and PMs to understand and analyze how the project is working currently. And here is a Gantt chart, like for ideal project for 1 year long, where you can have an aerial systematic view on a very important thing with all stages. And here is important that when we are concentrated on how to build and to form a fully formed team, not just like all at once. And when we are talking about core or feature team, so we are very flexible. And one thing to very important to remember, when we are adding, so the feature team, we are not doing it in parallel. So the most important thing is that you have your very flexible and dedicated team needed to your project. And here is some example. Intetics is developing more than just software. We make an impact, and this approach we implement with all our customers and internally in our company. And one of the example is the biggest health portal in the US, serving 5 million people a year. So we cooperate with the customer about 10 years, and this is a continuous cooperation. And this is a group of company and a group of clinics where we help to develop the project and created the digital business, let's say, from scratch, from the idea to execution. So, and now the system serves for more than 5 million people on an annual basis, with a number continuing to grow. And so we are proud of such customers who change not just their own business, but the industry. And we are happy to be useful for your project, and we are ready to make the calculation for you for your ideal peak team size. And we just need 3 metrics. And please feel free to contact me or join the technical panel where Boris Kontsevoi, our CEO and president, will be presented. And we are ready to make for you the investigation. So we just need your budget. So technical complexity analysis, and so duration and duration of your project. And we could make an estimate of your ideal team. So also, we would be happy to share with you, and you could find easily those materials related on our website. Our engineers, together with our marketing team, we developed several materials for customers to make some process more clear and easier. There are some white papers, some publication articles, and what we are proud of, and we would like to make the impact for all IT community. This is the first online vocabulary of emerging trends. So those are technologies that we are using, but also very often clients are searching for different kinds of sources to find out needed term explanation. Here you could not only find the explanation about each emerging technology, but add yours and impact the industry and contribute to the vocabulary. Of course, I hope you have some questions, and please do not hesitate to contact me directly, to mail me, or to message, and we would be happy to help and to find the best solutions for your project. So need a team, get started now. So thank you so much for your attention, and please contact us and let's build your ideal team. So have a productive day. Wish you all the best, and sending with Ukraine.